is Andrew, Professor Chamberlain. I want to take a few minutes here to talk a little bit about who I am and specifically highlight counseling at Cleary University. So I'm a professor, I teach a philosophy class, I teach a class about the Cleary mind, really about that philosophy of our curriculum and what really drives us and how we shape your experience as a student at Cleary University. And I teach a class called Know Thyself, Know Thy World, which is really about the human experience, how I see myself, how I perceive the world around me, and specifically highlighting what it means to be a person, specifically in the workplace, where you'll work with a variety of people and be a person, be a character in that workplace. Very much so things we highlight in that class. But I also provide counseling to students. So I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of Michigan. Been doing so for about 10 years in a variety of contexts, from crisis intervention in the city of Flint as a team leader for 5 years, to the city of Seattle, where I helped out with regard to the opiate crisis for men in recovery from drug and alcohol abuse and addiction, as a leader over program for recovery for those men. That journey has taken me in and out of a variety of types of counseling and counseling experiences. And I would say that my specialty and what's really near and dear to my heart is specifically issues of trauma and abuse. Yet I also really love relationships. I love doing marital counseling, couples counseling, and also working specifically often with depression and anxiety. So I want to give you that sense of where my go-tos are, where my specialties are, and where I feel really at home in exploring things with people. This time, again, if you've come this far, you're getting ready to make some decisions about beginning this journey as a student and possibly an athlete with Cleary University, and you're thinking about taking an amazing step for what you go do ahead with us here at Cleary. And maybe for the first time, this is your step away from home. Maybe you as a person are the first one in your family, your whole family tree, that's ever gone off to college, that ever pursued a degree, that ever went off to higher education. That is amazing. Maybe you're a person who's got questions about the future. There's a lot of excitement. Maybe you're ready to be a collegiate athlete, right? There is a lot of excitement in all of that. And yet with all of that, when school really starts, when roommates kind of come to be, when friendships happen, when schedules start to go all over the place, things begin to get very busy and tend to become really challenging. And yet you have friends and you can talk and you can discuss how things are going. You have your family. And yet often friends and family will sort of just give us what we want to hear, give us what we need, support us, encourage us, yes. And yet in many ways, those things don't always lead to healthy changes. They don't always lead to healthy strategies for handling the stresses, the ins and outs and ups and downs of life, specifically as a full-time college student, again, possibly an athlete. I want to share a couple things about counseling. I think it's very much whatever you may be sort of dealing with. It could be concerns about the future, the unknowns, certainly something that we're all experiencing right now at this moment. A lot of uncertainty, whether there's some anxiety about the uncertainties ahead, or whether there's some real sadness or possibly depression about things that have happened behind. Those two things can really come into the present moment and begin to impact our bodies, our minds in such a way that we can become very, very agitated, very amped up, or we can become very overwhelmed and very shut down. And anything and everything in between those two sort of extremes, all along a spectrum, so many things can come up for us. And so I think coming in to sit down with me, I hope you can feel like you can explore those things, that we can together work through whatever it may be, whether it's thinking through something that's been bothering you for as long as you can remember, or working on the fact that you don't know what to do possibly in the future, or a career to choose, or even a major to choose, or if you want to come in and sit down and just simply do homework together, or look at all the cool sports pictures in my room, in my office, all of that is on the table. I want to really be able to sit down, or maybe explore a relationship you have, or maybe explore something that's going on back home that seems to keep messing with you here while you're a student or an athlete, and an athlete at times at Cleary University. You're not a student or an athlete. You are a student athlete. So let me make that correction. But to be able to explore those things for the sake of getting you moving forward with healthy coping strategies, with healthy changes to make, with some goals, so that you can either find ways to keep calm or find ways to get yourself moving at times. I think those things are really important. And I want you to know too, I'm a pretty regular guy. I love sports. I love baseball, basketball, softball. Those are my real go-tos. I played those in high school, didn't get the chance to do what maybe you're gonna do being a collegiate athlete. But I love sports. I've been married to my wife, Andrea, for 16 years. We have 2 children, 8 and 10, a boy and a girl. So I've had some life experience. I've been a student for a long time in the past. So while I may know some things about your experience, you're always the authority of what your experience is. And yet the role of counseling is to join you in that space, to see something different. Again, friends, family, other people, they look for certain things, and sometimes they can be really helpful. For me, I look for really, really specific things about human behavior, about how the mind works, about beliefs we have, about the ways something maybe has worked against us in our lives. That's what I want to do with you. So anytime whatsoever, again, reach out. I'm connected to 2 email addresses, achamberlin@cleary.edu. That's CHAMBERLIN, Chamberlin@cleary.edu. And you can also reach me through counseling@cleary.edu, or give me a call at 800-686-1883, and that's extension 1455. Been away from the phones for a while now. Reach out anytime, schedule an appointment. I can do things eventually, hopefully on campus, but also have the capacity to do telehealth medicine, those sort of ways of connecting with people. I can do those things as a counselor. So reach out, and congratulations on getting to this point. I hope you take that next several steps forward to the journey of being a Cleary University student, and I hope to be there with you. Thank you.